wrench comes already in the box. I also decided to use a power drill to make the process a little easier for me. As you open and remove all the contents from the box, these are the parts you should have. I've organized them to make it a little easier for me, but this is totally optional. Here's a close-up of the parts bag where you'll find the Allen wrench that I talked about earlier. Here's the instruction booklet. And if any of you have ever bought anything from IKEA before, you know these instructions can be a little bit difficult to understand. None of the parts are labeled. Just have to look at the picture and try to figure it out yourself. If any of you parents out there have ever put together Lego sets for your kids, it's kind of like that. But you're in luck, I'm an expert Lego builder, so let's give it a try. First, we'll get one of the sides of the drawer, pictured above. Then we're going to use 6 in total of these cam lock screws. 3 on this side. Now on the other side of the drawer, we'll use the 3 remaining lock screws. The next part we'll be using is the back of the drawer. We'll be inserting these 3 lock screws, making sure to get the right size, which is the bigger one at this point. And we will also be inserting these 3 wooden dowels. Now we're going to be attaching these 2 pieces we just finished, making sure everything matches up, and then we'll be tightening the screws. Now we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side, not forgetting to tighten the cam locks. And now it's time to put the top on. Now we're not going to be using the cam lock screws, but we're using the cam dowel screws, and there will be 6 of them. Now we'll be adding some cam locks, the larger ones, to the top of the drawer. And we'll also be adding 4 wooden dowels. Now that everything's lined up, it's time to attach them together. Now it's time to add the bottom of the drawer. You'll need 4 of the wooden dowels. We'll also need 6 wood screws. Time to pull out your Allen wrench to tighten down these screws. I'll continue to use a power drill to make my job a little easier. You're going to need your hammer for this. We're going to be hammering the 4 plastic pieces, which are the feet to the drawer. Now after you flip it over, this is how it should look so far. Pretty good, huh? Time to make the drawers now. First, let's start off with the 2 smaller drawers and attach the 4 cam lock screws, then the 4 wooden dowels. Now we're attaching the 2 sides of the drawer, making sure to line up the indentation on the bottom. Now we'll be inserting the bottom of the drawer, making sure the white surface is facing up or facing you. As you'll also notice, there's a cutout on the corner of this piece. Make sure that's facing towards the front of the drawer. Now we'll be attaching the back of the drawer, making sure all the grooves line up. I found it easier to slide in one side first, making sure it's flush all the way to the right, then pushing down. For this next part, we'll be inserting the smaller cam locks to either side of the drawer, remembering to tighten them when you're done. Now you're going to need 2 plastic interlock screws, 2 for each side. Now you've finished the first drawer. Do the exact same thing to the other one and you'll have the 2 smaller drawers finished. Now moving on to the bigger drawer, we do exactly the same thing as the smaller one, only one difference is, instead of attaching the 2 cam lock screws, we'll be attaching 4. No dowels will be used in this step. Now you should have assembled all 5 drawers, 2 of the smaller ones and 3 of the larger ones. Now it's time to install them to the rails. First, we'll start off with the larger one on the bottom by pulling the guard rails out a little first, lining them up on each side of the drawer, then pushing the drawer all the way in. So now when you open the drawer, making sure the guard rails are still attached to either side of the drawer. Now if everything's lined up, you should see a hole. Insert 2 small screws on either side of the drawer from the inside. To me, this is the most difficult part of the build, but you'll get the hang of it. Continue to do this step for the next 4 drawers and then you're done. As you can see, we're all done. This came out looking great. I bought 2 of these, so by the second one, things were a little bit easier. Here are a couple reasons why I like these Alex drawers. The bottom 3 drawers can hold a decent amount of stuff. The top 2, the smaller ones, are not too bad. They slide in and out smoothly if assembled correctly. After I show you a couple more shots of these Alex drawers, I'm going to show you what I created with my 2 Alex drawers.